Hello, welcome back. So I started putting salads in a jar. I've been wanting, as I try to implement new things, and this is one of the new things I'd like to implement, is having fresh food. Especially, it's perfect. Summertime's coming. Some of this is out of my garden. Some of the stuff's I fermented. I thought if I put it all together, it might make it easier to just, it's lunchtime. Grab it, maybe add some protein, maybe not, and go. And so I'm going to give it a shot here. These so far, I have a little bit of a cabbage mix. It's like a coleslaw mix. I like adding that to my salad. I like the crunch. And so anyway, it's been it's been a couple of challenging months this year, actually. It's interesting. At the beginning of the year, the Father graciously just kind of let me know that it was going to be a hard year, you know. But he, in his compassion and beauty, let me know that it was going to be a good year. It was just going to be hard. And so it's like, okay, I can do hard. Through you, I can do hard. Let's go. And so it's been hard. It's been hard. And this week's been hard. So keep busy while talk. And okay, so far, just a cabbage mix, some mixed greens, and I like red onion. And then I'm going to put a little bit of beets on two of them. And anyway, so this week was an interesting week. I have one of my favorite chicken, Miss Frizz, and this is it's fermented cabbage. It's not really coleslaw. It's just fermented cabbage. I mean, not coleslaw, but sauerkraut. It's just fermented cabbage, and it's really delicious. So I'm going to put that in every other one. Miss Frizz started sitting on eggs, and we didn't catch it right away. And she had about 10 eggs that she was sitting on, and we didn't know how long and how to time, hatching and all of that. So we just like, okay. I feel like this year has been like strapping into the front seat of a roller coaster and trusting the Father. And it's been up and it's down and it's been glorious and it's been hard and terrifying, but it's been good because He's good. This is some fermented cauliflower that I just made, and it is actually really delicious. I put bay leaves in it, and so it's crunchy. So anyway, Miss Frizz sat on the eggs, and then she decided she hatched out her 2 eggs and then abandoned the rest of the nest. And all I can figure is her time clock. She laid them, and who knows when the other hens laid under her, and because that's what they do. And so her clock probably said, it's time, I'm done. My 2 hatched. And so I pulled the rest of them, I candled them and pulled them in to the incubator. And I'm going to put Clamato olives on these 2. So anyway, and they've been sitting in there, and I have no clue how long it's going to take. The one with Clamato olives, I made a, you know what I'm going to do with the other one? I made a cowboy caviar, and it's just beans and red onions and jalapeno and corn and garbanzo beans, and that's a lot, but okay. So I'm going to just do that on one, and then I've got, no, I won't need those. So anyway, they've been sitting in here, and it's like, okay, Father, are they even viable? Is there anything really even in there, or am I just, incubating rotten eggs that are going to explode? And so, and he's like, give it a week. Like, okay, thank you. I'll give it a week. And so I'm going to put some cucumbers. And the next thing I know, I have a little guinea keat hatch. Call him Mr. Peeperdew. These are peas from my garden, and they're delicious. So they're going to go on here too. See, I do like colorful salads. My husband says, you like colorful salads. Okay. And I'm going to put stewed tomatoes on these. Chopped up stewed tomatoes, just a few. Where did I put? No. Oh. Anyway, so I've got 3 eggs left in there, and Mr. Peeper Dude is so lonely because they're flock animals and they like friends. So I was carrying him around in my. This is broccoli and clover and broccoli sprouts. I kind of like it. I'm going to do those too. So that's it. Everything's enough of everything. Yep. Oh, asparagus is from my garden, and they're really good raw. So I'm just going to chop them up in a couple of these salads. So back to my story. Sorry. Mr. Peeper Dude is lonely. I'm carrying him in my pocket to keep him quiet and, comfort him because he's lonely. He wants another chicken. And so I have a neighbor, and she raises chickens, and she raises the breed that I'm wanting to, have in my flock. And so I message her, and she's like, yes, I have one pullet. That's a little girl chicken. And same age, a couple days old, and okay, we'll come get her. So we go get her, and we bring her, and I'm noticing something wrong with Mr. Peepers. And Mr. Peepers he was stumbling. He was stumbling around, and I was like, okay, I'll keep an eye on him. Well, then I'm going to make a couple of the quart size. He was, I waited overnight. Next morning, I went to check on everybody. It was a quiet night because they had each other, which was really cool. And then Mr. Peepers was like, his head was tucked all the way down underneath his body, and he was up in a corner. And when I tried to pull him out, he would almost do somersaults. He couldn't walk. And I was like, oh my gosh, this poor little chicken, guinea. They're really cute when they're babies. They turn into some hideous creatures. But anyway, so I go online and I start researching, and it seems to be Rhineck. And Rhineck is a vitamin deficiency, and so they need vitamin E and selenium. Okay, so I go and I call the feed store. It's like, do you have any vitamin E or selenium for chickens? And they had one with vitamin E. So I'm like, great, I'll be over later. So I go over there, and I ask, got distracted here. Okay, so I pick up the medicine, and I decided, you know what? I'm pretty sure we're going to lose Mr. Peeper Dude. And it was really hard because I don't normally get attached to my animals because these things happen. And so I kind of keep a safe boundary but he tugged on my heartstrings because I carried him around in my apron. I got attached to the little thing. And so I was praying and, and giving him I was feeding him with a syringe. And selenium, I found out, is in raw sunflower seeds. And so I ground them up into put water in, made a mash, and was feeding him through a syringe, and then went and got it. When I was over there, decided he's probably going to pass. So I'm going to get another chicken, because every time I would pull him out, Mr. Peepers out to feed him, the new little girl I got started screaming because she was lonely. So I'm like, I'm going to get another chicken just to keep that one company. And I come home and I give Mr. Peepers some of the vitamin E mixed in with his sunflower seed mash. And, I put him in there and go about taking care of things and try not to hover too much. And this one I'm going to put, Nope, I'm not going to put kimchi in. So anyway, a couple hours later, Mr. Peeper started doing much better. And I was stunned. And so I kept watching him, and he was actually being able to walk around. He was actually being able to, that's probably not going to be it in there. He was able to start eating on his own instead of, he would, because his head was tucked, he'd go to eat and he'd fall over. He couldn't, stay up. So, the Father is just so good, because it was breaking my heart, and I was so moved with compassion and, for a poor little chicken, that, it moved my Father's heart to compassion to answer my prayer and bring my little baby, heal him. So then I come home and I'm taking stuff out, putting stuff over there with, getting their little house together after I had given medicine. And I hear something up in the incubator right above it. And another guinea heat had hatched. So in 2 days, my little brooder over here went from 1 to 4. I have 28 couple-week-old down in a brooder in the chicken coop. I have Miss Frizz with her 2 babies in, and then I still have Bluey, the dove, and his leg. He's not even using it anymore. So I'm going to turn him loose probably on Saturday, and let him go free and watch him and pray that he leads a good life with a gimpy leg out in the real world, because it's just sad watching him in a cage when all the other doves are flying, all the other birds are all over the place, and he's stuck, and I just can't do it to him anymore. So I'd rather give him a chance of a little bit of freedom and then keep him caged up. It's sad. So anyway, I'm going to finish these up a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to share my week. See if anybody else is feeling like they're strapped into the front seat of a roller coaster ride. When you partner up with the creator of the universe and you say, I do, okay, I want to love you with all my heart, mind, soul, being, strength, all of me, like you've asked me to do. Am I the only one that feels like you're strapped into a roller coaster? Let me know, because it's been an exhilarating ride. Good, but terrifying. So be blessed. I'm going to clean up my mess here, have some lunch, and get these in the fridge, and I'll report back and see how they do. Be blessed. Let's see if this thing works. Oh, the coolest. I got this little microphone because I have the freeze dryer going on over there. And before, I couldn't record anything with, the freeze dryer and the dehydrator right behind the camera. And you can actually hear me because the microphone's here. So anyway, all these fun little devices. Bye. Bye.